Hi.
Hello, people.
Good evening.
Hello, everyone.
So you getting on this? Hi. Good evening, everyone. Hey, if you're on YouTube, shout us out. Type your name in. Say something so we'll know it's you.
And as always, please go join our YouTube Tag Team Marriage.
Yep. If you're anywhere else, if you are Consuela, Loretta, hey, on Tag Team
Tag Team
Wedding on Facebook. So if you're anywhere but our YouTube page, we thank you for being here. But we're really trying to get everyone to migrate over to the YouTube channel. So if you see us kind of fading this way, because this computer has the YouTube, the tag team, hey Jaquetta, the tag team the tag team marriage page. So it's YouTube. The page on YouTube is Tag Team Marriage. So if you see us kind of gravitating this way, because that's the computer this is on, we have 5 devices. Because hey, Nikki, because we're coming from different pages. He has pages. I have a page. We have a joint page and a tag team marriage page. So we're trying to build. Hey, Jackson.
What's up, Jackson?
We're trying to build the YouTube channel. So either tonight or next Monday, if you guys can start migrating over there, we greatly appreciate it. It is Tag Team Marriage on YouTube. That is our channel on YouTube. So if you are on either of the YouTube pages, Tag Team Marriage or Lorenzo Reed.
Yeah, Lorenzo Reed.
Or Lorenzo Reed on YouTube. If you could,
subscribe.
Subscribe, but also give us a shout. Let us know you're there. We see one over here. We see one over here. So give us a shout. Well, we can see who they are. Facebook, we can see, but YouTube, we don't know who they are. We don't know who they are.
All right. So as always, the shirts.
We are starting on time tonight.
That itself is amazing.
The shirts. This was actually our first shirt. We got, and we wore this. Actually, I surprised him for his birthday, and took him to a Falcons game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we wore these shirts, and everybody loved it. We walking through the stadium, walking up the stairs, and everybody.
Green shirt. I like her butt.
I like his beard. Sorry. So we always start off with our shirts to show you guys our shirts. Secondly, hope you guys had a great day. We're starting a new week. So we hope that this week will be prosperous and wonderful for you. We appreciate you all being here. We love when you guys come and we can spend this time. We also want to let you all know the wedding at the Georgia Aquarium is still on. It is still on. So you can go to Tag Team Wedding.com. TagTeamWedding.com. And that's where all the information is for you to submit your RSVP.
That's right. Let's go. Let's come to the wedding.
We have a certain amount of guests that can be for the actual ceremony. And then for the reception, there is no limit.
There's no limit.
It's so many that come to reception.
I'm gonna go on the website tomorrow and put the hotel information up there.
Yes.
So you can have hotel access for all the people who are coming from out of town.
Right. And even if you're in town, because we're gonna be staying at the hotel, even though we live out here, we'll be staying at the hotel with our guests, having a good time. We have a whole weekend planned. Thursday night, we're having a barbecue.
Drunken parties.
Day night here at the house for our wedding party.
Throwing stuff off the ceiling, the roof.
And then Friday, we have the girls will have their day, the bridal party. The men will have their day. Don't know what y'all doing, but we're doing. We have the rehearsal. Scandalous. We have the rehearsal on Friday. Then the rehearsal dinner. Is that how it goes?
Sure.
And the dinner.
Yeah.
And then we will separate for the evening, come back Saturday, hitch it up on our first wedding anniversary. Party. And Saturday night, we getting together again. We partying all weekend because we're not leaving until Sunday.
Right.
For our honeymoon. So
it's out of here. We won't see y'all.
Go to tagteamwedding.com and submit your RSVP if you have not already. All we ask, we don't want any gifts. We don't want any money. Don't slip us anything in the card. Our gift,
put my name on
your gift to us is you handling your RSVP. It's $50 a person because it's been catered. It's been catered by the world-renowned chef. The world-renowned chef.
No, you cover my mouth, man.
Okay.
I was about to say Marco Polo.
Marco Polo.
Wolfgang Pup. Wolfgang Pup.
Wolfgang Pup.
Wolfgang.
So that's just an evening out with your baby, your lady, or your family.
Having fun.
Okay.
Having fun.
All right. Crystal Springs. I was gonna shout y'all out. Crystal, and her fiance, they got engaged. Yay! I'm sorry, Crystal. Type his name in. I'm sorry. I can't think of his name. But they got engaged. She'll type it in a second.
Love in the air.
And we say congratulations to Crystal and and he's on the face. Jerome, yes, Jerome. Thank you. I think Jerome is a part of the tag team wedding family. All right. Hey, Jerome. Congratulations. Jerome Lorenzo, Jerome.
What up, dude?
We gonna get together.
Marriage is a union between two people. Marriage. Union.
Okay.
If y'all ain't seen Princess Bride, you won't get it.
So yeah, you have to see Princess Bride. So we have a guest tonight. It's my boy. It's my boy Juju. As y'all know, the Steelers are playing right now, right there on that TV.
And she's gonna pay attention to y'all.
I am. I will pay attention. I'm not gonna be looking over. But Juju is joining us. And wait a minute. Oh, sorry, Juju. Sorry. Almost. Yeah.
Don't put that thing on me.
My bad.
Oh, I got
yeah. All right, Steelers. So y'all gotta do it tonight. We're gonna move to the side, but Juju's gonna sit here with us. So we will put the information up for the hotel. Lorenzo will do that tomorrow. So you guys will have the information for the hotel. We have a block of rooms, of course, and you would let them know it's Reed Wedding, I believe. But just go. It's also on the tag team page on Facebook. The information is there. You can go to that page, and it gives you all the information there as well. For the hotel information. Is that all right? All right.
So let's talk about this subject tonight.
That's it. Subject tonight.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Subject tonight.
We're getting better. We got through that in 7 minutes.
Did we? 2 7 minutes?
Yeah, because we get long on that part.
Okay.
So the subject tonight, y'all saw the title. The title was
Dollar bill, y'all. Who controls the house?
Yes.
Who controls the house? We have a groupie every time. What do you need, ma'am? No autographs right now. In the garage. No autographs, ma'am. Go away.
So after that impolite interruption,
we have 2 groupies in the house.
So we know that historically, our
culture. Could you fix my flowers? I got flowers tonight. Somebody came in and I got flowers tonight, and he's like, "This so sweet." Thank you. Like, can you fix them? They were like off to the side, like right there. Put them in some. Okay, perfect. All right.
They can't see her.
They can see her. Okay, then YouTube.
YouTube can see it. YouTube can see flowers.
Thank you. Okay, good.
So, from a historical basis, we know that we have generally grown up in a patriarchal society where for centuries, the woman did not work as far as outside the home. And especially in this Western culture of America, we grew up in societies where there was one income and the husband usually provided. You know, that created unfair situations, but it also created a motif that we have followed where the man is the head of the household and makes all the money and controls the money. And he who controls the golden strings, the purses, they control everything. And so people have used that to dominate one and another. So we enter a time frame now where not so much, my fine feathered friend, because now a woman can make just as much money as the dude. And in many situations, especially, we can talk about this, especially in the Black community, since Reaganomics, get a little political here, Black women have been afforded with quota laws, an opportunity that most people don't realize. That is the fact that the quota laws set up a situation where women having a black woman satisfy two quotas of minority and woman. So black women were able to grow a lot faster and as far as position, and only in recent times have economics wages sort of getting a little bit better. But that has put a situation where oftentimes you can have the woman making more money than the man. So can the male ego now handle the fact that his wife may make more money than him? These are the aspects that we want to discuss tonight. Where is the ego? Who controls the household? Are we traditional or are we new age? Is it 50-50? How do we handle these things? What happens when it's a blended situation? What happens if it's a single mother? What happens if it's a man who has a previous family? There are so many different avenues of approach here. And we want you guys to be a part of that conversation because we know everybody may have different situations, different experiences.
Right.
So ready, set, go.
So y'all know we always come real. We're very transparent and we always come real because
some foolishness.
Because reality is everyone deals with different situations. And sometimes people are dealing with situations they don't know how to handle. It's just going all the way to the left in the household. And it takes others to kind of, you guys give us advice and we give you all advice because we're in this thing together. Your household is yours, but it does not mean that something that we may do may not work for you, or something you may do may work for us. Okay? So, very transparent. So, we're going to come from a direction. Well, I'm going to come from a direction of being a business owner, building and getting to a point of making a certain amount of money and being able to handle and hold down everything completely on my own. We both have previously been married, so we know what it's like to take care of households and split things and things of that nature. But it's definitely a discussion to be had when you're dating. When you're getting to the point of marriage, you want to have these discussions because you don't want to wait until something happens. Like, I want a new car. Well, you can't get a new car. Well, I want a new bike. Well, you can't get a new bike. Or, something, anything of that nature. You want to have these discussions and know where you all stand. So that's first and foremost. Have those hard discussions because money, can be tough to discuss, especially when egos come into play. So, coming from a perspective of being a single mother, after getting divorced from my first marriage, being a single mother and being a business owner and being able to take care and handle everything on my own. Like, y'all, at one point, God is so amazing. I had rent and 2 mortgages. Now add 3 of those with everything that goes with utilities and insurance and, because these are daycare centers. So all of that I was handling on my own. So in comes this great guy. And he has his way of doing things. And he, a lot of you all know him on the financial side of it. He does financial alchemy and coaching and training of that nature. So his way of looking at finances was different than my way of looking at finances. So we had to come together and say, okay, how are we going to handle this? Is my money my money? Is your money? Is our money our money? Who makes these decisions and who says what and who does what.
Who needs to start watching this game because they eyes keep going over there?
But I'm here. Y'all can hear me, right? I'm still talking. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be that person.
Whatever. I'm gonna be that person.
Don't be that person. Trying to squish Juju. That's what you're trying to do. Be that person. So, how do you handle those situations? You want to jump in there?
Sure. So you can watch the game a little bit.
No, I'm not watching the game. I'm here with my people.
All right, whatever. So Now, our position is a bit more unique in that because we are coming from as two different business owners, but not everybody. Everybody may not be. Y'all may be saying that okay, well, y'all are business owners. That's a little bit different, but y'all probably have these things called jobs too.
Right.
And in having a job, you have finances that you have to take care of. You have your own economics, and you are still two people coming into a union together where you already had a formation of how you did your money.
Mm-hmm.
You may be good at it. You may be bad at it.
Right.
The other person may be good. The other person may be bad, or both of y'all are. And like Baby said, these are conversations you have because there are things that my wife would spend money on that I would not, i.e. sneakers. I'm not a sneakerhead. She's a sneakerhead. So do I understand her sneaker addiction? No. But I would spend money on an experience. I would go to dinner and be ready to spend twice as much as she would spend on some sneakers. And of course, people would say, well, the sneakers is more sensible because longer use.
Over.
But the memory of the experience, holds water.
Hey, Paul.
So we have thought processes of, so these are some of the things you have to really be able to discuss and talk about and figure out. This is one of the reasons why if you are coming in with solid incomes, right? With solid incomes.
Jackson asked the question.
If you're coming in with solid incomes, then it's a lot easier to do when you're business owners, depending upon how things are functioning. It may be a little bit more difficult, but you have to be able to come in and develop a joint budget.
Right.
And one of the first things you have to do is lay the naked monkey on the table.
The naked monkey on the table.
And tell the truth about what bills you have and what bills you don't.
Right.
Because what can disrupt your plan is, okay, so like when I first came to Baby, I have child support. And I don't have any fear, shame, or guilt, so I really don't care what you guys know about me. Over the years of business up and down, I have child support arrearage to pay, meaning I'm behind.
Hey, Janelle.
So I couldn't come up and just be like, not tell her that I'm behind in my child support and I will still be paying it, after the kids have all reached age, because you have to catch up. You still have to pay that. Not saying something like that and not talking about all the different consequences of it. If you don't pay it and this happens and that happens, then you have to be able to be honest. So integrity is that first thing that you have to really have in order to make this work, right? So you got to be able to say that, and your ego can't be a part of it, right? And if you don't make as much, that doesn't work as well.
Right.
Because again, transparency. I was in between my business, one closing of a store and working towards the opening of another store. So who made the most money when we first got together?
Me.
Exactly. And we actually haven't talked about it recently. We don't know who makes the most money right now.
Right now.
Yeah, right now we have no idea. But for a very Jackson, I got child support too.
Sean said your hubby was my platoon leader in boot camp and well received.
Oh man, that's Sean Clinton. What's up, dude? Super fine. Y'all don't know about that. Anyway, yeah, I know exactly who that is. Okay. You don't forget things.
RSVP to the wedding, Sean.
Yeah, come to the wedding, Sean. Love to see you. Platoon 2014, okay. 2nd Battalion, okay. Paris Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But there has to be a respect factor. So, kind of backing up a little bit, there has to be a respect factor, regardless of who makes the most money. You did. So regardless of who makes the most money, because like you said, coming into this, my income, hey, Miss Vanessa, my income was well more than his.
Sugar mama. Sugar mama.
Whatever. That's called working hard and making some things happen.
Sugar mama.
But although my income was well more than his.
Oh, why you gotta say well more?
Although mine was well more than his, my household was already established. So here comes what people may say the problem. Here comes the problem. Although my income was well more than his, I had an established household, paying rent, mortgage, utilities, and all those things. Him coming in, the level of respect that I had for Lorenzo, because remember, we were friends for 7 years before we even started this thing.
Right.
And I watched him, and being an entrepreneur as well, the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs, I get it. I understood it. So what excited me about him was his grind. And regardless of what he was doing, he was driving Lyft.
Coaching.
He was driving Lyft and coaching.
Selling knickknacks.
Yeah, he was doing that. But every bill in the house was paid. And it wasn't me paying it. We came to a transition where although I was making the most money, I was making more money and there was an overflow at times, he still handled all the utilities, all the things in the house that, you know, I always say
utilities, food, gas.
Right. The only thing I paid was the rent.
Right.
The rent.
Oh, here's an interesting aspect of that. Because I've seen people talk about this, right? They've said things like he should pay the rent. If a man comes out, he should pay the rent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the women were like, well, and then we'll take care of all the utilities. And what they failed to realize, this was like months ago, I saw this. And I went on there and I said, if you added up all the utilities plus the food and all that, y'all paying the same thing more than likely.
Yeah, I'll pay the rent or the mortgage. I would do that. Hey, why people? Why? Me and mine set all the financial expectations prior to even setting a date. Exactly.
And let me tell y'all, she just said she'll pay the rent. Let me tell y'all, that's a sneak attack. Because the other bills vary. And sometimes you wind up paying more than most people.
Got you. I got the rent.
Yeah.
Well, what you need? You want me to write the check now?
Mm-hmm.
I got you. But anyway.
That's what you like to turn. Turn them lights off. Hey, turn them lights off.
That dynamic.
Sorry, it's okay. Keep running that water like that. You're going to pay that bill.
Can't make money there. Can't turn that water on quick. But the dynamic of that would not work with some people.
No.
Because pride and ego will come into place. And I'm not going to lie. A good, of course, transparency. There were times at the beginning when we would kind of get into it. And I'm pointing out what's mine. Mm-hmm. Was I wrong? Yes, I was. Yes, I was. And I had to come back not even an hour or so later and correct that, because that wears on the respect of the other person, whether it's male and female. Because I knew what this is coming in. He knew what it was coming in, and we made the decision to do it. So we had to maintain that respect for one another. And regardless of who was making the most and who was putting in where, there had to be the level of respect where it wasn't well, I do more than you do. And what you do is not, is important.
And
is what I do. I'm sorry. Jackson said, I think you both compliment. Oh, we in the
compliment each other despite all things.
Yeah, because I can't see behind the. Okay, despite all things. Thank you, Jackson.
Yeah,
it's called growth, maturity, and learning.
And see, an interesting aspect of that, we do that because society has told us to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Society has told us
we do it.
That the person who makes the most money rules the house, right? And society has also said the what's the word I'm looking for? Not the character of a man, the value.
Oh, okay.
The value of a man is him being able to pay the bills, provide, right? And oftentimes when people say that, I like to bring it to the animal kingdom. Mm-hmm. Because we like to run around calling each other kings and queens, and we like to say that, oh, you're like a lion, right? But have you ever really looked at how a lion's pride works? Have you ever looked at it?
Yeah.
Because if you did, what you will realize is that the lion, the king, hardly ever hunts. It is the queens who do the majority of the hunting. Mm-hmm. Why? Because the king is out there protecting.
Mm-hmm.
See, we got this thing about provide, protect, right? Provide and protect. And yeah, I'm not saying that a man should not provide. You should provide in some form or fashion because the male lion does hunt. But his main job is protecting. The silverback gorillas Main job is protecting.
The penguins do that too, don't
Yeah, the penguins do it. The women go do most of the hunting.
Really?
The male is protecting the children.
Mm-hmm.
The alpha wolf main job is protecting. Now I know that we are a level above animals, just a little bit, but we're a level above the animals, right? Because we forget our innate natures. Men need to really understand, and women need to understand that our primary job is to protect. And sometimes that protection is in the organization of the finances of the house. Doesn't matter who makes it as much, but what matters is how is it protected? How is it taken care of? Right. And that is where the value should be placed, because doesn't matter if you have a man. Okay, I'm transparency, right? Transparency. There was a 6-year period of my life, about 6 years, where 6 years, where I made six figures, right? But my ability to protect that income was very, very low. Oh, I looked like the man on the outside. People saw the job I had, the money I was making, the gym and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I looked like the man. But the money went out faster than it came in. So I wasn't protecting that money. And here's the only time I protected the money is when I had a job for 2 years that had me out of town so much that I wasn't at home to spend and to frivolously spend the money. And then it looked like, oh, I saved so much money. I didn't have a choice. I wasn't there to spend it. I was always gone. Right. And I created, and it was such a surplus that I couldn't spend it. I couldn't spend it all. Yeah, that'd be nice to have again. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is, how do you protect it? And after that time frame, I remember sitting down and saying, like, how did I make almost $200K and I barely have $1,000 in the bank, right? In savings. Made no sense, right?
Right.
And when I downloaded the budget and I downloaded the statements and looked at everything, so much money wasted.
Yeah.
So much money going out the door. That's what made me start saying, you know what? No, I got to do better. I have to do better. And I started changing and realizing that my job is to protect. So the value of a person can't be on how much money they make.
Right. Janelle says she and her husband, we have a joint account where we pay all the bills. We took seminars too, and much prayer. Yeah, most definitely. She also said, since I work from home, I am the manager of the finances and the home. We have allowances that we discuss big items to purchase. Yeah.
Janelle, you're so on point. That's how I function in the program.
Yeah.
Right. If anybody has ever had me coach them with finances, they know my 70-10-10-10 plan or 50-10-10-10 plan. Or 10-10-10-10. You are going to manage your finances in a certain way where both of y'all get an allowance.
Mm-hmm.
You need some do whatever I want to do with my money. You need some of your money. You need some of my money to do whatever I want to do without question.
Mm-hmm.
But there are limits. Me and my baby was actually just talking about this, was it 2 weeks ago or a week ago?
But mind you, though, we had this discussion before he asked me to marry him.
Oh, yeah.
We went to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, a month?
It was about
us being together?
Yeah, I think it was about a month us being together when I wrote it on the napkin.
Yeah. It was a month of us being together. We went out on a date, and he laid out the financial plan that he wanted for us. And I thought it was great. I did. I thought it was great. It's going to take some time for us to get there,
right? With
opening a new store, and but the purpose and the point of it, I thought was great. And Janelle, it's very, very close to what you said. Y'all have allowances, and we discuss it. And some people feel like, especially women, especially us, when you're used to doing it on your own and you have your own money and nobody's telling you how to do it and how to split it or whatever, when someone comes in and they questioning and looking at the Amazon boxes and questioning what you're doing or whatever, sometimes you want to be like, this is my money. Don't ask me tell me how to spend my money. Disrespect. No, let me say that. Disrespect.
I'm gonna make a joke.
Don't make a joke. Disrespect. Ladies, we have to understand sometimes We put our men in positions to act certain ways. Agree with me or not. Sometimes we put our men in situations to act certain ways. Doesn't say it can't go the other way around, but we know and realize respect to a man is very, very, very important. He could have not a dime to his name, but if he has respect, that's a lot. I mean,
Look, you give a man respect, and he know that he got that from you. He will break his neck to get the life that you want, the life you deserve.
Right.
But when you don't respect,
it's a breakdown.
It's a breakdown.
It's a breakdown.
He's just gonna go down a toilet bowl.
Right, right. And it's a team effort. Like the tag that we have, tag team, that's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like that came like from the beginning of us dating. Like I got your back, you have mine, tag team. And that's how we do it. And we take care of, so he said sugar mama. And it's funny, it was a joke. But let's be honest, let's be real. I handled things. I was used to handling things. And I didn't have a problem with handling it because I knew and I saw his efforts. I saw his plan. I saw his work ethics. I knew he was grinding out to be able to do. So as you all probably have seen, I surprised him with a new motorcycle.
Sugar mama.
If y'all don't understand the story behind the motorcycle, now mind you, he had one when we got together. Loves bikes, loves riding. He had a motorcycle. He sold his motorcycle, y'all. He sold his motorcycle for us. Now, you all know, everybody knows I have my nephew, Caden. We have my nephew, Caden. We have our nephew, Caden. And Lorenzo came in, and the thought was, I'm not doing children. I'm not doing kids. And to be honest, mine was too. Mine are grown. But God saw fit another direction. And we are happy parents of an 11-year-old boy. Don't do that because y'all get on my nerves. They like best friends. They need their own house, to be honest. Kate and Lorenzo, they need their own house. But he made sacrifices that did a complete turn to what his life plan was going.
Yeah.
Now, let's be honest. I used to tell him, you asked me. You wanted this. You asked me. But does that mean that I should not reciprocate or I should not show him how much I appreciate and respect him? So, because he sold his bike, the day he sold his bike, that I watched his face when that man rolled off on that bike. I was counting the money in my head. I was like, all right. But, my heart was like, dang, baby had to sell his bike. And I felt so bad. So I said, all right, Lord, we got another plan that we're going to work on. And the other plan was when it's sufficient, when it's suffice, when it's good and it's okay. And it was hard because I couldn't discuss it with him. That was a major purchase. And I could not discuss it with him because major purchases we discussed. And I couldn't discuss it with him. But I knew he would trust me in what I was doing because we established that. And I bought him a new bike.
Yeah, that's something right.
A Gold Wing.
Oh, yeah.
1800.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we missing some comments. Let's come back and read.
Right. But before you go there, I didn't want to forget something. Something she just said right there. She could go and make that major purchase because our experience together has shown me that she wouldn't make a major purchase like that without considering how it affects the household. Right. And you got to have that, as well. You're gonna want to surprise each other with certain things that's outside of. I knew a couple, they had $100 limit. Well, I know a couple actually.
What?
Tay.
I'm surprised.
No, spending like Tay. So
yeah.
They have $100 limit.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing over $100.
They have to discuss.
They have to discuss anything over $100. So of course, certain surprises are going to be over $100.
Right.
But you trust enough that you're not going to like bankrupt the family over
right.
some stuff. So you do have to have that. And let's answer some of these.
Right. Don't want to miss that. Girl, I can never say your name.
Miss Booker.
Yeah, Miss Booker, Miss Hustling Booker. Girl, I can never say your name. I'm sorry. It said, listen, that part is hard. That part, the Amazon boxes, girl.
Oh,
Being independent for a long time makes it hard.
let me tell y'all something. They built a new Amazon fulfillment facility over where I work, and when I was driving by it, they had a sign on it that said, "We belong to Donna Reed."
They did not.
That's the whole.
I didn't see that sign.
That whole thing is for Donna. All right, so Sean.
Let's see who is here. Okay, we already did, right?
Yeah, she just said her husband loves program and she loves Amazon budget for it
before I purchase. Mm-hmm.
Right, you got to. And Sean said, how do you assist the one that may have not lived in the U.S. all her life and struggles with the English dialect and reads and needs to handle business for her family and not be intimidated by the opposite race? Not be intimidated by
Not being. Oh, you lost your place.
no, intimidated by the opposite race or educated black men or women with basic conversation. How do I encourage her? How do I encourage her? By the way, she's an insecure introvert Asian woman that has a lot to offer to society.
I'm glad you ended that with a lot to offer to society, Sean.
Yep.
Because the best thing we can do is point out people's strengths. Point out people's strengths. Y'all would do that.
Yeah.
Point out people's strengths.
Thank you.
If she has strengths, whatever strengths that she has, hone in on that. Hone in on that. You know, make conversation about those strengths. Give her a task using those strengths. Because coming from another country, having a different upbringing and a way of doing things and expectations can be hard. I'm sure it can be very hard. We're both ex-military in some sort, so we've dealt with people from different cultures, different nationalities, different. So we know everyone doesn't do everything the same. But hone in on her strengths, Sean. That'll be a great way to help her.
Yeah, and Sean, let me harken to our days of the Marine Corps. And say, sir, that one way to do this for her is to revisit the 11 leadership principles that we learned. All right. So go ahead and handle this part. Those 11 leadership principles.
I'm going to let you sit there with you.
No. Because in those leadership principles, one of the things that you know is that you're showing concern for the welfare of your wife, which is awesome. That's what you're supposed to do. But it is also to assign tasks that are understood, supervised, and accomplished. So you remember that one, I'm sure. Basically, you want to and know your Marines and their abilities. So let's put those together. You understand your wife right now and what her abilities are. You understand what her struggles are. And the goal is, as the first, know yourself and seek self-improvement. So you want to build her up by giving her tasks that are of her current status, but also challenge those abilities. Engage her in more conversations with like-minded people so that she can grow in her ability to have those conversations, because the more she's confident in her ability to have those conversations, she will then feel more confident to step outside of the box that she's in, her introverted box. Not that she has to turn into an extrovert. She does not, because there's wherever you are. But as she gets better at handling you're supervising. You're not micromanaging. You're supervising, allowing her to become the E3, the E4, the E5, the E6, the E7, so that she has a mastery over these things. And also teach her that educated Black folks can be idiots. A piece of paper does not make you smart. It just means you know how to take a test, you know how to regurgitate information. Right? It doesn't mean that you are technically proficient, and tactically sound. Remember that one? So that doesn't mean that she's that either. So, but you can make her that way, because the more technically sound she is, and then she understands the strategies behind how the household should function and how this country function and how people function, she'll then become more confident and be able to stand, as an equal or surpass all these fools that she deals with. And thereby, with her having that strength, it will strengthen your home.
Right.
Because when the husband and wife are standing strong together, there's nothing that can break that down.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. So, because we didn't hit this.
Yeah. So
a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken.
Right. So that would be my advice to you. Go back to Marine Corps days and get that thing.
He said, Jesus.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been in Marine Corps, but hey, those leadership.
Hey, Chris, say Myron.
Those things are still very prevalent. And,
okay. So respect.
Wait, Michelle.
You have to start with respecting one another. Okay, your God baby is crying for you, so I had to come on here to show you. Hey, T, my God baby. Okay.
All right. Now, I hope everybody can actually take those things that I just said and put that into play. I didn't think about that as part of this conversation, but really it's about leadership on both sides. Both people understanding how to lead from their perspective. You have to recognize that in that Lion Kingdom, to go back to that Lion Kingdom, that alpha male is partnered with his alpha female, and they too run the whole thing together, each one knowing their role, right? Each one knowing what their responsibilities are. I planned this video that I'm going to do, right? Where I was going to talk about, this is tomorrow's video, but it ain't going to get published for a couple of days. But basically, and we in the Black community especially, we have a misrepresentation of the alpha female. We honestly do. We have a misunderstanding of what we see of an alpha female of another race or from another country that didn't grow up here in America. Because the Black family has been broken in the way that it has been, because of what Black women have had to do, because of the way society has created the prison industrial complex, all that kind of thing. We have this Black woman that has that shoulder and handle everything and says things like, I don't need a man.
Right.
Whereas, don't get mad at me, the alpha white woman, the alpha Asian woman, and I know Black women like to say he with that Asian woman, white woman, because she weak and he can just run all over her. If you actually look at these women, majority of them are alpha females who just know that going out there and doing that is not her role, not her position. That's not the position she playing on the team.
Mm-hmm.
She making sure that he got everything necessary in order for him to be able to go out and do what he needs to do.
Right.
And come home and get revitalized to get back out there again.
Right. And
keep getting out there and increasing that thing. And then if he does act a fool, she know how to get her half. Right. You could dog them out, but they know how to get their half. That's an alpha woman doing her thing.
Right.
What we lost, one of the things we lost in the Black community, especially after integration, is the fact, because family structures got broken down, is that we gonna do this together and we gonna play our role. And especially, we had to go out there. You gotta fight the racism, the injustice, all that, and then you want to come home and fight some more? No. Both of y'all are going out fighting the injustice now. Both of y'all are fighting the brutality. Both of y'all are fighting the unfair wages and the wage gaps and all that. Coming home should be your refuge.
Mm-hmm.
That's the alpha woman. That's the alpha man. But if you're functioning based on fear, guilt, shame, or blockades of love, it ain't going to happen. You may think you're an alpha, but you're not. You're a beta that wants to be an alpha, or you may have alpha abilities, but you're a beta. And you ain't there yet. So it's going to take some relieving of that. But that, actually, if you think about it, are the things that hold us back. I'm fearful that I might end up, I've been married before, and this was me. I'm fearful that if I don't set things up a certain way, I'm going to find myself building up a business, and then because of a divorce, it gets broken down again. Not going to happen. So let me put my barriers up. No, you don't put up barriers. You say, I'll put in things in place to make sure that those things are taken care of, but I'm not going to put a barrier that stops us from coming together. Because that'll be living in fear, not living in, I learned some lessons and now I'm gonna do better.
Right.
Right. I'm not gonna feel guilt or shame and make stupid decisions to try to alleviate that just to make her happy or someone else happy or society happy. You know, baby, no. I lived in my store for a while because I was like, I ain't got no shame. I'll do whatever I need to do to make this thing happen. She talked about me selling that bike. It was all about doing whatever I need to do to make it happen. Some people were like, oh man, you had your bike, now you lost your bike. And they can come up with their own ideas of why it happened. I don't care because they don't matter. I don't sleep with them. They don't pay. I don't live on the same roof as them. They ain't got nothing to do with my bills. But more importantly, even for my family, my kids gonna leave me. Well, they already left me. Those fake grown selves. Your parents ain't gonna be there with you forever, and you leave your parents. Your siblings ain't. They go to their own house, have their own lives. Who is the only person that pledged to live their whole life with you? Who? Your kids ain't pledged to live their life with you. Nobody else. This person, this crazy woman, because she's crazy for pledging to live her life with me. This crazy woman pledged to live her life with me. This guy. Foolishness all around. Nobody else pledges that. So who you got to build? Who do you got to make sure is taken care of? Who do you got to gain the trust of? And who you got to give trust to? Who do I need to really focus on being the leader? And who do I really have to focus on, being the servant right here? Not all these other people, not y'all, here. You understand what I'm saying? And y'all should be feeling the same way. Like, this is good information, but I'm going to focus this on mine, not you. Right?
Focus it on your spouse.
What Jackson say? I still ain't cool with Jackson yet.
Jackson the man. What you talking about?
Him.
You say you hitting it on point. Each round you're firing off is hitting the target.
Okay, you got a little points right there, Jack. You got some points right there, bro. Points.
But yeah, we just have to understand what our role is and what position we're playing and respect one another's positions. Because like you said, at the end of the day, it's about your spouse. It's about the two of you. Like, where are things going to end up? How are things going to grow for you all? You have to worry about your spouse. Why are you here? That's our little catchphrase. Why are you here? Why am I here? We get into our arguments and we have our differences and we have our insecurities and our things that we're dealing with and we're growing because, again, we've done this before and things didn't work out the way we may have wanted it to, or we realized that's not where we should have been in the first place. So every relationship that is not wrong. It's not like, oh, yeah, you messed up. Somebody was like, woo!
Oh, who listened to me? Showing our age.
But some of them end because it's necessary for them to end.
Right.
But the building process is here. The building is here now. What are we doing with this? Are we trying to one up each other? Are we trying to be the one in control? If you're trying to control your spouse, you don't need a spouse. You don't want a spouse. You just want someone you can rule over. You just you want somebody you can rule over.
And what's the point of that? What's the point of ruling over someone? Because if you're doing that, then all you're going to build is resentment with each other. And this is one of the reasons why finances is one of the top reasons couples break up. Right? It's over finances. And one, there has to be understanding, and there has to be a plan, and the plan has to be followed. Right? Understanding is so vital in all aspects of that. There's a wise saying that says that if you see something, you will forget. No, if you see something, you won't do it. If you hear something, you will forget. No, I'm saying it wrong. If you see something, you'll forget. If you hear something, you'll remember. But if you do it, you will understand it.
Yeah.
If you're not doing this together, if you don't come up with a plan and do it together. Like I see Antoine is on here right now. He's a banker. You think a bank functions just on throwing stuff against the wall and see what sticks? No, they have a plan. And then they have people who exercise the plan. we have to do the same thing and function the same way in our marriage. We have to gain an understanding that we both can come to an agreement on, and then from that agreement, get the plan and work the plan, right? If we're doing that, then we can move forward. Like one of the things baby talking about, I having the 11-year-old. He was 10 at the time. Having the 11-year-old. Most of y'all know I wasn't planning on being in this country past this year, right? But having the 11, even though that little joker done told me that he roll out, he was like, "All right, let's go."
It was all about me.
But you change that. It's okay to change that plan, but even in the changing of that plan, it wasn't a complete 180 change. It's really a 360 change. I was planning on doing it, but we're gonna do some other things first. But there is a time frame that we get back to doing that, to that, where the plan will still be to leave, but there's some things we need to take care of to go a full 360 to then be able to do it. And just like Bae was asking me today, like, is there any updates? And these are very good things to do. She was asking me, are there any updates, things that we haven't talked about? Because I was mad at her. She was mad at me on Friday, and there was something I ain't tell her. And then I happened to tell her, was that last night?
Yeah.
It came up in conversation last night, and she was like, why didn't you tell me that? I said, because I was mad at you. You was mad at me. So that's why you don't know. Right? So
that might be the best time to gossip. Be like, guess what?
I know. So
things at work.
Right. I know. So I was making me lose my train of thought. So like today when she was asking me that, what it did make me think about is that the fact that after our conversation last night with our brother and sister, I started thinking about the fact that I turned 49 in a month, y'all. You realize a month and a day. A month and a day I turned 49. And I was thinking this morning, what's the plan? Now, for the past few years, I didn't have to talk to anybody about my plan, my long-term plan. But I was like, oh, shoot, let me put some things together so me and my baby can sit down and talk about the next 10 years. Now, 10 years is hard to plan in today's world because things change so rapidly now. But I want to talk about the next 10 years. I want to talk about where I want to go, what are things I want to do, how I want to build our family, business thought processes and things of that nature, and where I want us to end up in 10 years, because this is what I have in my head. But we got to come together on that. We got to come to a union, a point of unity on that thought process of where we want to end up in 10 years.
Right.
With, of course, the availability of change. Like General Patton said, a plan that is rigid and cannot change is already defeated. So it has to have some ability to change. Jackson said, Don, that level of respect is a real deal breaker in and on a ship. If there isn't respect, things aren't going to succeed. I can't read today, y'all. But and you're absolutely correct. Yeah. Absolutely correct. When there is no respect, it's falling apart. It's a done deal. You might honestly, I'm gonna tell you, people don't always say this, but let me quote my guy Napoleon Hill in his book Outwitting the Devil. He asked the devil, he said, I thought all marriages were made in heaven. And the devil said, nope, I made a whole bunch of them myself. Not all marriages are meant to be. And if you lost respect for somebody to the point where there's no way you gaining it back, that thing's gonna be there forever with a loss of respect, y'all better off calling it a day.
I agree.
Call it a day. Move on with your life. Because why are you punishing each other? You ain't even punishing each other. You're punishing yourself more than anybody else. That's what you punish, right? So if there's no respect, and I can say I'm gonna use finite terms. Don't usually use them. I try not to use them. Every couple I know whose finances were separate. This is your money. This is my money. Not in a budgetary format where we bring it together. This is your allowance, but all the rest of the money's together. Where it is, this is my money. This is your money. You paying for this. I'm paying for that. those couples break up because at some point, okay, here's the thing. At some point, the person who was low may rise and be the person that's high. But now that person who was high is like, oh, wait. It's our money. I've seen that happen. Ladies, I've seen that happen. Most of the time when I've seen that happen, it was ladies. I've seen it happen where she was like, nah, I'm making, like in one instance, she was making like 80 and he was making like 30. And she was like, it's my money, it's your money. I pay this. I bought the house. I do this. It's my car. It's my car. Right. And he was going to school while he was grinding. And didn't take away from family time. He wake up early, study while she sleep, do his thing, go to work, do everything. And he was paying his part. He couldn't do, she was going on trips without him.
Oh, wow.
But then he rose up and he worked, he grinded. Opportunities came. Next thing you know, he was making almost twice as much as her. And all of a sudden she was like, I'm so proud of you. This is our money. Bro was like, nope, that's your money. It's my money. And that's how they stayed until they argued and broke up. And I've seen that a bunch of times. I've seen it with the military too. The military guy got his spouse. Oh, he making the money while they in the military. Then he get out. They go home. Oh, she been going to school while y'all was in the military because she ain't had nothing to do. Then all of a sudden she builds a career. Now he feels some kind of way. His little ego can't handle it. And they break up because she reminds him, no. Remember when it was, and you know one instance I'm talking, remember when it was, oh, we drove home on a weekend and you told me I owe you $14 for gas. No, bro. That's your money. This is my money.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I hate it. I used to sit in the back seat and be like, these fools really saying this. I was like, did that fool just tell his wife, you owe me $14 for gas? And he just say she owe me $14 for gas and oil. I have to put oil all the time. That kind of stuff won't work. As long as you maintain that separation, it won't work. Now, me and my baby own businesses. There are certain things you're going to keep separate because you own a business, you had your business, certain things. But there has to be a joining. There has to be a unity, right? Otherwise, it's not going to work. You got to bring it together. You got to bring it together. My baby happy because her little stank Steelers are winning over here.
It's almost over.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's fourth quarter. It's almost over. Yep. Yeah. 10-point lead. A minute and some change left.
So
that would have changed things right there if you'd have got that touchdown.
Yeah, but he did. He did. So I really enjoyed this. We'd like to touch on the touchy situations, the touchy subjects, topics. So understand, dollar bill, y'all. You know how that song officially goes. For those of y'all who are true fans, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all.
My wife is such I didn't know I was married a hip hop queen as well. But I shocked her when when I started like the songs I knew. And, and my history in hip hop.
How this country boy know about Big Daddy Kane? Like, what's that about?
Now, what really got you was all the like Tribe Called Quest, Leaders of the New School, all them, Nubian, Grand Nubian. Yeah, that really got you when you was like, whoa.
It did.
Yeah, that's right. I can get underground too.
From Mayretta, Georgia.
She think I'm country proper.
He is country proper.
You don't know.
He can be so country sometimes, y'all. I'm like, you need a piece of straw sticking out your mouth the way you just said that.
Whatever. Hey, before we get off into craziness, we need some help. On the YouTube channel, in the comment sections, after this video, or even during, but mostly, after the video, we need some subject matters that y'all want to talk about. You can do it on the Facebook, on the Facebook and the comments of this. You can do it on there too. but we need subject matters. We know what we can come up with and what
Right.
we can talk about.
We have done that's right, Jackson. We have actually done 23 topics.
Yes.
23 topics.
And not that we're running out.
No, we have more topics. I have a whole note in my phone,
Right.
in my Google Notes.
Yeah, this just ain't
We
about
have
us.
different subject matters, but yeah, we want to talk about things that you all want to talk about. We want to hit, those sore spots that you may not be comfortable talking about. Give it to us. We'll talk about it.
And we know there's some part twos of certain videos that we've heard comments on.
We've actually had part 2, of course, on the sexual matters. We've ended up doing 2.
You little dirty-minded people always want to talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
We can talk about it. That could be the conversation every night, every day. We can just start a whole new channel. Really it's Sunday sex night.
Sunday sex night.
Remember that? Oh, actually, remember the old? It was the Canadian lady. It was. You don't remember? It was this Canadian lady. She was like
glasses.
She was a Canadian Dr. Ruth.
Yeah. Okay.
Her show was on Sunday. It was called Sunday Sex Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That lady was cracking me up.
I remember that. So yeah, give us some subject matters. If there's something, like I said, you want to talk about, want to get into, put it in there. Put it in the comments. In our YouTube channel, you can go back and watch any video that we've done. Any of the subject matters that we've done. We started out with love languages.
Tag team marriage on YouTube.
Tag team marriages on YouTube. That was a really good one. Understanding love languages. That is real. This not one of those things that, it's the book and everybody say that, blah, blah, blah. It is very, very important to understand your mate's love language.
Right.
So we enjoy it. It is 10:01.
So
it is 26-16. Steelers over the Giants. A little bittersweet because the Giants is my second team, but still a nation, baby. So it was good all around.
Honestly, the Steelers is my second team, but because she hates my Falcons, I can't. I have to privately be happy about this game. But publicly, no.
You happy about it?
No.
Happy about it. All right, go RSVP. We want to see y'all at the wedding. We want to have a good time. Y'all, tagteamwedding.com. You are all invited.
So y'all have a great night. And remember, why are you here?
I was getting ready to say, you have to free yourself.
No, that's Lorenzo Reed channel.
Lorenzo Reed channel.
Free
yourself to be yourself.
Because your greatness
is non-negotiable.
Vibration.
Good journey.
I've corrupted her mind.
Love you guys. Good night. Nothing crazy. Always sound like the bugs outside.
It is.
What happened? Hit in.
Oh.
Hit in. Oh, it's still going? Good thing we ain't saying that crazy.
Oh, it's funny.